All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. We are doing the AI sector review, starting with AI and PLTR. Clearly, AI has been a real big story of the year, right? And again, I talked about in the last video. I really wish I was paying a little more attention to these stocks, but clearly it's worth doing, right? So, before getting into the details, what are we going to do today? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how things are setting up. We have our 5 moving averages. The horizontal, there's only one, but the horizontal support and resistance lines I do manually draw. And then when we're done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please like and subscribe, it does really well with the YouTube algorithms. But even if you don't, I am so glad you're here, okay? And then if you disagree with anything I got to say, please throw it in the comments, okay? If your opinions are better than mine, believe me, I am very open to hearing them, and I'll actually be very appreciative to hearing them, okay? So with all that, let's get into the details. And I'll be honest, this is a little bit of a hard chart to read, okay? Now, clearly that's ugly, and that's ugly, all right? And generally, you know, when these three are all bad, that's a bad thing. But look, I used to say it a little bit more, but 80% of the work really is up here. This is only the 20% confirmation, okay? And the reason I'm saying it's a tricky chart is, man, look at what's going on here, okay? Obviously, to the naked eye, we're 2 days under the 8. We're definitely 1 day under the 20. Seems bad on top of all these things, right? But what's really catching my eye is this thing is going up, it starts to go down, and then it's actually leveling off to almost going up again. That's really interesting because even when things go horizontal, it doesn't actually kind of seem to want to go. Even this 20 never really did the down curve. It actually kind of seems like it's still going up. I think the trajectory of these two important lines is really catching my eye, okay? What I will for sure draw, and normally I don't draw lines in between these because really the 5 moving averages, these are computer generated and generally a little bit better than mine, you know what I mean? But yeah, if we lose 2061, if it hits 2060, there's a real high likelihood of coming down to this 1650 range. Maybe this bad boy will save it around 1790, right? But I'm still not convinced we've lost this 20. I still see a good uptrend. Let me just draw it real quick. I still see, look, yeah, fuck it. Let's start. Oh man, I try not to curse. You know that. So look, we're going to go from there to there because it basically hit that. Then this thing starts to basically do this and actually hold for the most part. Let me take it to that because then we've gone to that. Let's just kind of keep this as clean as we can. And then I'll run it to there. So we've hit from that to that, from that to that, and then that to that, right? From here, look, all I'm really seeing is us kind of going parabolic up and down on either the moving averages or even this trend line right here, right? And all of them are still up and all of them keep getting increasingly up, right? So it's really crazy that all that is coming on what looks like really bad, you know what I mean? So it's an interesting chart. And look, if you watch my videos, you know I did not look at this thing before I made this video, but for real, when I saw that, all that jumped out. And honestly, I would want to use what I use, what I call the one, because I really would want a couple more indicators to see what this thing is looking like. But end of the day, I think these are the two magic numbers. Honestly, look, you can definitely start a position if you're not in. Again, this is not financial advice. You for sure know that. Maybe you can do it at this doji number. Yeah, 2385. I think that would be an interesting number. I'll actually go ahead and set an alert there. An alert is by no means an immediate buy. It's just a, hey, come check it out. The safest entry would be that right there, would be breaking 2585. That's definitely, oops, that's definitely the prettier line, the cleaner trading. You're definitely not messing with any of these lines well up here, right? You know, I'm very much looking at these, and again, if you lose this, it's coming down here, and really these, and these are all saying it's actually coming down here. I think I'm just kind of holding the fact that AI is still a little bit of a big story, a big topic. Everyone still cares. And again, maybe this 18 number will catch it. Hey, maybe even the 50 will kind of come up to around that 18 number. And the 50 will end up catching it, right? But overall, still got to be day-to-day bullish if you're over the 200. The fact that, I don't know if you watch my major market videos, right? But the fact that the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones all look a little scary might be reason to add a little bit more to this dropping down here worry. But again, I'm really, really surprised how strong these two lines and that trend line we just drew are really holding up this bad boy. So really interesting. Did I talk about the weekly? I don't think so. Okay, look, we've clearly ridden that red all the way up. And look, that's pretty much right where we're sitting right now. This plateau, and again, is this, I want to click under it. Is this around that 18? Oh, it's 19. It's still a little higher. But like this plateau right here makes sense. And actually, what's this? 1875. Okay, so again, I'm still holding what I said on the daily. I think I really do agree with it. What now seems to be a little more likely, because look, now that I'm looking at this, right, we're still a little higher than 50% candle, right? So I'm still bullish on this weekly chart. I obviously hate the fact that this thing went completely below that one, right? I hate that's not good at all. But hey, we're still over 50%. We're still over the 8. We're still over this plateau. There's still some positivity here. Again, I might be squeezing the grape a little too hard for some juice that isn't there. Again, I'm kind of leaning more towards it coming down here, I think, now that I keep talking. But yeah, this again is 80% of the work. And if it decides to take it over these two lines, over the doji, and especially over that thing, it could for sure keep going. So spent a little extra time here than I expected to, but I'm telling you, this is actually a pretty interesting chart. Let me know if you disagree with anything, actually, for sure. You can tell I'm not as like firm or confident as I normally am, you know? Oh, geez, that is ugly. Okay. Oh, man. How high did our RSI get before I get into anything else? 73? Really? That's it? That was the high, right? 73? Damn. Interesting. Let me see where this line came from. Okay, that's from there, but no, we got stopped right here. Oh man, Palantir. Interesting. I don't know if I drew this last time. If this is basically okay, look, now that I'm looking at this, there's a couple things jumping out, okay? Clearly, damn man, that's real wild. So you break this line, you get good confirmation, and then just a hard drop down. Wow. Real wild, actually. MACD definitely catches that story for sure, but and we're actually under the 200. This is a real surprising chart. Again, I actually don't know what's happened in the last. A lot of stocks didn't do well the last 4 days. I'll at least say that. But man, this is a real interesting little turn of events here. I don't remember when the last time I made this video was. I think that adds a little bit to this, but really crazy that we break this, we get good confirmation the next day. The next day doesn't even take our RSI that high to 80, right? We just crack 70, and then we're just going down real hard. That's horrible. Look, this goes back to show you technical analysis by no means is a guarantee. Nothing always happens the way it does, right? But I'll at least say this much. Once the fail happens, once this thing was lost, I mean, it really should have been an easy, you lose the 8, obviously that's a worrisome thing, and then from there you lose you lose the 20 and the 200 on one can. There's so much crazy bad here, and I'm telling you, I think you can tell, I was not expecting to see this. All signs are pointing to 740 right now, right? That's definitely not a good MACD. This is very much a horizontal RSI. I'm not even really taking much into consideration here. Clearly, the story, though, is the volume, right? It's been overall bad. I don't know if this was earnings, if there was a couple days of good earnings pop, or maybe it was anticipation for good earnings that ended up not being good. Again, if you have more details, throw it in the comments. This is blowing my mind, and it'll be really funny if this like blew my mind last time I made this video and I actually forgot and I end up being really bullish and this just ends up playing out the way I thought it was. But yeah, I at one point really believed in Palantir, however the hell you're supposed to say it. It's done so bad so quickly. You know what I mean? Like this, I'm telling you, I remember the hype on this bad boy. I also remember the horizontal and actually thinking it was going to keep going. Technical analysis was beautiful here. I'm telling you, I have pretty much ignored the stock for a pretty long time. The weekly though, man, I mean, we're close. If this thing can break the 50, hey, maybe Palantir, whatever can do what it does. Cause look, this line is actually the IPO line. You know what I mean? So if you can break the IPO line, maybe you'll ride this green, 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 green. Because again, from there we just go horizontal and then pretty much red, 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 and then a little baby, then red, red, red. We've now completely hit the IPO and then basically down from there, right? So this 971 is actually a super, super money number. Obviously that 50 moving average right here is still in the way. Not too much is in the way. Obviously, holding the 200 is in the way, I would say. But yeah, 971. And again, it goes back to my surprise of, wow, I can't believe that didn't run. Because again, look, all you have is, oh man, crazy, crazy, crazy. Again, what am I seeing? I'm really seeing this unless this 200 does its job and it helps us rocket. Because this is kind of not a good break. This actually technically is a good break because you get a break and a confirmation. It just didn't run like it should, but it might be enough to justify a bounce, right? And look, the 8 and the 20 are actually still going up, which is really, really weird, right? They I guess as I zoom in, they're kind of flattening a little bit, but yeah, they're not like doing this, right? They're not curving at all. They're actually kind of like, yeah, whatever. We'll keep kind of going up a little bit, right? So just a couple odd things catching my eye, but yeah, real interesting. Again, I think the all eyes should be on 818, 820. That's basically the 200 moving average. Obviously, the 8 and the 20 are important numbers, right? But yeah, either we are holding and bouncing, or hey, maybe even going parallel, whatever, right? On this 200, or I think we're going to start looking at these two. And obviously, the worst thing would be losing these, right? But if we were to lose it, I think I would draw that right there. I don't think we'd go much lower than 677. Again, markets doing poorly, might be a little rocky for this, but yeah, both were pretty interesting charts. AI and Palantir, did not expect that when I hit record, but again, I think that's part of the magic of me not looking at these and like trying to get that ahead view, right? You are literally, I mean, as close to my natural thoughts, unless, you know, I'm looking at the stock before, right? Just for my personal stuff. But yeah, just my thoughts. Again, let me know if you disagree with anything. Sincerely appreciate your time.